All right, like to call the meeting to, call of, trustee agent. Directors, I'm sorry.
Park board. Just all you gotta do is say roll call.
Roll call.
Mr. Dill, not yet. Ms. Jones,
Here.
Mr. Plants here, Mr. Toad,
Here.
Felglider, we did not hear from him, did we? Marcia. Mr. Uzelak.
Present.
Attorney Cassell.
Here.
Have a quorum.
All right, let's start the meeting. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, approval of, July 10th, 2025 board meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion, Mr. President.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Approval of June 12th, 2025 board minutes.
I'll make that motion, Mr. President.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Old business. Item A, agreement with BP.
Yeah, actually, this is an agreement with, it's a tandem Wildlife Habitat Council, DBA Tandem Global. And British Petroleum had a grant that they gave to this not-for-profit corporation doing business as Tandem Global. And then this there's a three-page agreement sets out our agreement. They're basically hiring us as a subcontractor to do the biodiversity restoration work under the grant. And so that sets it out, and then there's a 17-page work program attached to that. Had to clean it up a bit. So we presented it last month, and as they presented it to us, and it really didn't hang together very well. So it's been all cleaned up, and it looks good to go.
Mr. President, can I ask, Lou, are you recommending the board to approve this as presented?
I am.
And Chris, do you know anything about this that you want to input?
No, not that I want to input. This was what was presented last time, and I think, John, there were some questions a couple of board members had. And I think it was based around, trying to remember what it was.
It was
The wording was just kind of confusing.
yeah, the wording was confusing. We straightened that out. Particularly
Yeah,
indemnification. for
That's right.
9.
Yeah,
That's all been cleaned up.
yeah.
Craig? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have input?
Yeah, I mean, I reviewed it as well and looked at it after Lou made the changes, and I also helped Lou talk to Samantha Conderai from Tandem Global. Samantha worked with Lou to make the changes that he met with Samantha, so I kind of made sure they could contact each other, and yeah, I'm all good for it, and I think everything looks good. DNR is also fine with the agreement, so.
Jim?
Oh, everything Louis says, I'm good with.
Okay. Is there any other questions from any board members?
I'm good.
All right, not hearing any, backlashes or disagreement on this, agreement and it's been presented to the board from our attorney and redone on some of the issues. I'll make that motion to approve this, restoration agreement from Tandem Global. Is that right?
And we'll.
Tandem Global. I have that motion on the floor.
Seconded.
There's a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Right, no other old business, it looks like. New business, approval of proposed 2026 budget.
What do you want to do? No, it doesn't matter. No, Chris, it's super, it's not super complicated. So you can do it.
If the board would please draw your attention to the legal sized financial document. This is our budget request for the year coming up, 26. They're both in there. Yeah, everything's in here. the long and the short of it, this is a very simple budget process this year because the guidance we've been given is to keep everything flat. So basically, whatever the budget was this year is what we're doing, what we're presenting for the upcoming year as well. So we're basically working off of what we're gonna be asking for, coming up into next year. There's other documents in here. You'll see the breakdown of the salaries. They're telling us, to expect that to be flat as well. So we didn't ask for anything in this budget coming in, that we didn't already have. And there's two different budgets here. I think that's or appropriations, that's the important thing to look at. We have our 107 operating fund. This is the one that, the tax dollars come into. And then we have our 117. That's the one that we put in revenue. Our revenue goes into that, in addition to some that goes into 107. But, we have both of these are in here, and they'll need to be approved separately. That Rick talked about. So it's probably just easier to answer questions if there are any questions, because there's really nothing to present new.
So with that being said, is there, any other questions, on the proposed 2026 budget?
I attended the workshop, I understand it, I'll let any other board members who here attend, ask any questions.
And Chris, budget going forward, flat. Nothing to say, we're asking for this, that, or the other, it's not happening.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Didn't expect anything.
I was gonna say, you knew the guidance was too, so.
So, I'd like to, I'd make a motion for the 1107 budget, for 2026 proposed budget to accept that.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Oh, wait a minute.
No, you can't
Now
make a
you can't
motion.
make a motion, you're still president.
Yeah.
He's gotta take over, then you, yeah.
You wanna take it over?
You finish your thought, I'll make your,
Or you can make the verb, somebody else.
I'll make the motion.
We got,
Okay.
I've got
I'll
to make the
retract
motion in
my
a long
motion.
time.
I'll retract my motion. Go ahead.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
second, so we have a first, initial
Motion
motion, a second, any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it.
And you want a motion for the 117 reverting budget?
Okay, so the second agenda here is the 2026 1117 non-reverting budget.
Mr. President, I'll make that motion to the step that is presented.
So we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank
Go
you.
to the county and bring us the money back.
Would you like that in a cashier's check or how do you want? Cash. Okay.
In a briefcase.
I'd be happy. I don't need to, I'm enjoying this. Yeah, finish.
Acceptance of claims,
Need a motion from the
I'll
public?
make that motion to accept the claims as presented.
thank you, we have a second,
I'll second.
we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
You should ask for a question.
Any questions, comments?
I'm impressed that we're back in business and spending $1 million in a payroll period.
Oh, yeah, you may be impressed by but 300 and some thousand of that was for, paving of Stony Brook.
Okay.
Yeah, which looks very nice. I'm sure you'll talk about
All right, so we only spent 2/3 of $1 million.
it. Yeah, in operations.
All right,
Yeah.
you're halfway back to work.
Any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Report, committee report. Policy and personal budget and finance.
Well, you kind of heard it, that's Carl's. And
Okay.
I think you've
Well,
had
yeah,
that before.
That was the budget, we kind of went over that.
Goals and objectives, land acquisition. No, okay, nothing. Division report.
You can point it where you want to point it.
Yeah, I can- Yeah, started off, thank you. We had a meeting with BP, actually. It's kind of a good timing here with the approval of the Tandem Global contracts. We had a meeting with BP employees on June 20th. And basically, we did a tour of all the sites that will be maintained with these funds. And the large ones, the ones that take the most time and effort, Clark and Pine, and Pine Station and Gary, both DNR Nature Preserve sites. Pine Station being actually the most diverse nature preserve in the state of Indiana. I think there's 700 or 800 species of plants there, native plants. But really neat site. And then Ivanhoe, Dune Swale, which is Nature Conservancy, that's in Gary. And then Gibson Woods and Pelican Ridges and Hammond and Gary, which is Lake County Park. So that was June 20th, longest day of the year. It was a great morning, kind of overcast, and everybody really enjoyed it. So I think they're all excited about working with us for the next few years and maybe longer. So we'll see how that goes. On the Oak Savannah Trail, our GEO property, former GEO, St. Saba property, we had a meeting on June 17th with our group that's basically making the decisions for the contractor and for the designer of the site. So that was with Delta Institute, also City of Hobart, and a few other concerned citizens. So SWCA Environmental Consultants out of Elmhurst was selected. They're going to be designing and getting us the permits for that 40-acre site. We had 8 proposals that we made our decision from. Probably half those were really good proposals, so it was a tough decision, but a lot of us really did agree on SWCA, so that was good. We'll be looking at a December completion with the project they're doing, and then that would lead into the next couple of years of construction, we hope. So Ventnors Memorial Parkway Trail, our last acquisition in phase 2 was completed on June 24th. That was the Suns parcel between Delaware and Broadway and Crown Point, 1.4 acres. I want to thank Chris Landgrave for being at that closing. The resolution that you approved at the last meeting allowed him to sign that closing, or sign at the closing. So that was great. So that's final phase 2. So we now have clear right away between 113th and Iowa Street. That would be the first 3 miles of that trail. And then also Oak Ridge Prairie yesterday. I just wanted to mention this. It's a sad note, but we had another suicide yesterday at Oak Ridge. So that's the second in about 2 months. And so, yeah, we, just a bummer for the employees and so forth. So just wanted to mention that, and maybe long term we'll have to look at something at Oak Ridge because it had happened there more frequently than some other sites recently. So that's all I have for you.
Who found it? Who found them?
It was, I think it was a bicyclist and or walker, and then they notified park staff. It was before the park even opened,
Was it
6:30.
teenager or?
I'm not sure of the age from the report I got from the park manager, but they were on the sled on one of the benches.
You reach out to the corn and say, was there a connection between the two? You know, that's part of our concern is what one might have caused with what he can tell me, without getting involved with it. That is a concern because all basically in the same spot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you. Any other questions for him? Nope. All right, let's move on.
Great.
Buckley Homestead, they finished out their story time on the farm on June 30th, that last Monday. They saw over 1,300 individuals come out. It was 4 Mondays, it was supposed to be 5, but one of those Mondays was about 95 degrees out with heat indexes 105, and it's just too much stress to put on the animals, honestly. So we canceled the ones that was 4 Mondays, 1,300. Staff now, they're shifting to their homesteading programs as well as their night hikes. Those are both really popular. The night hikes are actually waitlisted most of the time, so they're kind of going that route. Deep River Grinders are on our home stretch right now. Guys play off July. This upcoming Sunday, they play 2 p.m. versus the Chicago Salmon. The South Shore Brass Band will be there at 12:30 for a nice little concert ahead of the game. That is put on with help from Legacy Foundation as well, so to give them, I think that was the only partner this year. Give them credit for that. They have a July 20th. The night is not. From the Lake Heritage Park.
Thank
you. Chris Sangrave again, thank you very much. July 20th, you guys have a 3-game.
Yeah.
A triple header.
Which
11
one?
a.m., 12:30, and at 2 p.m.
They're 73 minutes or 7 innings. Hey. People, but the Ohio Village Muffins that are coming from Columbus, Ohio,
We're making it work.
they also wanted to play the Blue Island Brewmaster, so we created this so they didn't have to spend a lot of time driving around. That's nice. Because we're nice people, even though apparently we're on the weak, frail side.
Say that.
Three banks of it, it's like three.
And then just because it's before the next board meeting, the August 3rd game is their next home game as well. It's at 2 p.m. It's the Shriners benefit game. Where all those donations from that game. What?
I don't lose track.
But all those donations will go back to the ORAC Shriners Children's Hospital. In other news at Deep River, at Big Maple Lake, after 16 months, we have power at the bathroom. We had finally about 2 weeks ago, but we are still working through the process with IDEM. As we had earlier, state employees and IDEM budget cuts. Their employees, which I'm sure you know, kind of just go separate ways and staffing issues. So this is probably going to be about another 8-week process as we go through there because we'll have to get the approval from them and have to go to the specific site. Once we get the approval, then our whole community needs to submit their construction permit and documents. Then IDEM just open it for a 30-day period, just to make sure no one objects of us having a so nowhere. And once they approve all of that, then we can 2 weeks before she can do. But we're getting somewhere, so we'll go with that. The second annual Inspectable takes place at Oak Ridge Prairie this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's just a chance to get hands-on on all types of bugs. It's just a $5 gate fee per car. Also coming up at Stony Run, a newly paved Stony Run, which does look really nice. It was nice. I think it just brightens it up. Just like, see it, looks good. But the Kid Biz Market is on July 25th, from 5 to 8 p.m. This is where your children about 15 and younger can come in, and whatever goods they have, services that they sell, set up a little booth that will give them. It was just a $5 vendor fee for them to do this. Last year, I think we had about 15 vendors. This year's at 38 again. So a nice increase over last year. Also, that it's still you should have a invite to our volunteer picnic. This is just a little invite to the board, and we're just going to put on a thank you to all our volunteers in the department. Portillo's is providing donating hot dogs for this event, and have s'mores games and thank you for them. If you are interested and able to come, just RSVP to Kara. Her information is on this email, so we can have a run.
Very nice.
Unless there's any other questions, that's all I have.
Any other questions? Okay.
All right, I'll go ahead and go. I'll start off over at the golf courses. The golf courses both had really good months, or really good month, really strong weather this month. They had a couple outings and saw really strong numbers coming through. The staff's been working really hard to keep the course in good shape with all the golfers that are coming out. Cedar Creek had their busiest day they've ever had. They had over 100 golfers, just over 100 golfers come through in one day a couple weeks ago. It was a Saturday. So that was really good. The flip side to that, staff is a little concerned because INDOT just shut down 231 and Climb.
Things are going too well. By the way, no signage,
Yeah.
because I go down Klein every day across 231. And I came home and I'm like, usually they put roads gonna be closed on this day.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. They just shut everything down.
They wanted you to go down 231, I was like, no, it's closed.
So then hopefully they're staying closed for about a month. We did some NIPSCO work. They're working on relocating utility poles.
They do too.
Put a roundabout there in 2026.
Yeah, this is just
This is
preparation
just
for
phase
a
one, yeah, for a much longer one. So staff's interested to see how that's going to go. As you might remember from last year,
Every time they close,
we
it affects us.
it affects Cedar Creek. When we had ran the numbers from the Placer AI program that we've talked about before, most of the golfers visiting Cedar Creek were coming from the Crown Point area. So we're kind of curious to see how this will kind of shake out, because it is kind of a long detour.
Well, yeah, there's no short detour.
Could I make a comment or about Cedar Creek?
Yeah.
And, you know, I live in South County, South Lake County or whatever, I used to really enjoy the lights, golfing at night at the driving range. You can't golf at night, but the driving range. Have you guys, I know the park's only open from this time to this time. Have you ever thought about, because when it cools down at night, a lot of people like to, and especially like maybe Friday, Saturday night or something, just maybe not every night, but kind of look at it where you open it up for maybe to see till 10 o'clock or something. You might get for mini golf, or that might attract some people or something like that. Maybe 2 nights a week or something.
Well, certainly a thought. It's not something we have thought about before. We do know that at Cedar Creek especially, that driving range is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Well, we
You know,
haven't done many golf.
And we've not done mini golf for a long time
Okay.
because the course was just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the
nobody
reason we didn't do
really
many golf, the mosquitoes were.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it
Yeah,
should be a night problem too, but,
Yeah.
no, it's something to think about. We can certainly talk about it internally.
Yeah, I know I used to really enjoy it, and it was always crowded.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, when it cooled, it was, you know, 85 during the day, it cools down in the 70s. And you get out there, you know, right before it's dark and stuff, and hit a couple. It's pretty cool to hit them under the lights. They're kind of like a top golf and, you know. But anyway, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, it's a good one, add it to our list of things we can talk about. Over at the water park also had a really good month. We're seeing a lot of really strong interest at things over at the water park this year. Today, they just happened to book a 1,000-person day group for Saturday the 19th. It's a giant group out of Illinois at the school that's doing catering. The whole thing was like a $30,000 sale.
Okay.
So that was really exciting. This past Saturday, the 5th, we threw our first private event that we threw as the Lake County Park Department. It was the 30th birthday party to the water park. We had over 2,500 people come out. We had sold out online. We added another 300 tickets online. So we had sold 2,300 tickets in advance, and then we sold tickets at the door as well. A lot of people came out with a lot of interest. People had a really good time. So again, that was really excited to see that. And that was on top of that Saturday, the 5th, was also the busiest day we've had so far for the public. So total between the day and then that private event at night, the water park had just over 6,000 people come through for the day. So, which is, yeah.
Used to be. But things change.
So the water park is throwing
That's great.
2 more of those events ourselves. We have one coming up on the 19th that's kind of themed to be a country night. And then on August 2nd is our last one, and that will kind of going to be a back to school kind of bash. And those tickets can be bought online in advance as well. We're hoping to sell them all out. And we tried something a little bit different for these private events. We have never really dabbled in renting our cabanas at night. When we do have private events, this was kind of the first time we did this. And I kind of challenged the staff to come up with this package where we can do a cabana and unlimited food and drink for the customers renting the cabana at a premium price. And we sold out. We have 8 cabanas at the park, and we sold all of them for the first event. Staff did a really good job of managing all the food and all the guests, and everybody seemed really happy with the end product at the end. So it's something we're going to try on the next 2 we're throwing, and then possibly as we get into discussions for 2026, it might be something we try to do more of with our private events at night.
You and I talked, but we never followed up on the cost of goods versus all you can eat. What did it end up?
Gosh, they didn't eat. I think
Yeah.
Bella had said they made maybe 70 cheeseburgers, and there was 8 cabanas, which is up to 90 people, I think. So they made like 70 cheeseburgers and like 20 hot dogs. It was nothing.
When we had talked, we were wondering,
Well, you just never know.
Yeah.
Because we remember the old days of the county people telling them we get a free hot dog. Those folks were willing to stand in line for an hour and lose an hour of their private time for a free hot dog. But the average customer, I don't think will do that. Yeah.
Sounds like Carpenter building some more cabanas.
That day would go well.
Even the mediocre weather water park usually we sell 50% full out.
Like, can't get access to privacy, but I'm special,
And it's not that, really truthfully, it's not that much to feel that. That's a pretty reasonable price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Very
could be some two-story ones.
yeah.
You gotta get insurance, the insurance will be. Put their handrails on.
And then we have had one in the water park with IDEM. We just got our renewal for our wastewater treatment plant. The water park, yeah, sorry for rubbing it in. The water park does operate its own wastewater treatment plant. It's not connected to city sewer over there. So all the sewage from this building and the water park goes out to a wastewater treatment there. And the operation.
Anything this campus goes there.
Operations building as well. So yeah, so we just got that permit through IDEM. So good luck finishing up your permit, Sasha, hopefully. And then over on the IT front, obviously this is our first live meeting tonight. So thank you to Emily, who kind of set it all up and got it all squared away and got it all figured out for us to be on YouTube Live. And the last IT thing I have is Brian recently finished installing security cameras over at the water park, which we've talked about in the past in the meetings. That was kind of part of our agreement going forward with our insurance this year. They wanted kind of to see more cameras in the park. So this is kind of our first phase in what we've done. We put up 9 security cameras and we're covering entrances and exits to the park. You can see kind of people coming and going. That is kind of one of the biggest things when we do get a claim. That's usually the first thing is they generally can't even prove they were there that day. So this is a good step. So thanks to Brian for getting that project done as well. That kind of concludes my report. Any questions?
No. Chris?
Okay, and and it's easy for Joe and I to, when you say 6,000, we're like, we used to do a lot more than that. But truthfully, for the last several years, ever since COVID, numbers like that are rare. And so a situation like that, the kids had to be beside themselves, weren't they? They were probably, at the end of the day, the employees were probably just, do you believe it? I mean, that used to create some real excitement.
Yeah, they really were.
And I bet they were. And so, shout out to those guys and all the part-timers and, because it's one thing to do 6,000 plus people, another thing to do it when it's 94 to 5 degrees out,
Concrete.
high humidity on concrete, So it is a big deal and good for them. I hope it didn't scare too many employees off. You took my thank you to Emily for getting this rolling. That was going to be a big one. Actually, we've been talking about this forever, so that being done. And then I also wanted to throw out there, I think we talked about it at the board meeting once, and but Diane did receive a grant from Cleveland Cliffs to help us with the bike trail and putting in some safety functions or some safety features there at the end of the bike trail. That's a huge deal because it's not been a thing that we've often gotten grants, especially from like Cliffs or anybody like that. So congratulations to you. That's a big deal. And we did receive that. It's not just a word, hey, we're getting it. No, we received the check today. So that's another big deal. And that's fantastic. So thank you. And then there's part of me that's wondering if, after we heard about NIPSCO's increase in rates, did they drag their feet on putting that thing together until the rates went up? I just wonder. It just seems sketchy to me. Also, looking at the financial report, you'll see we actually do have money coming in finally. We have receipts and revenues. That's good. And not reflected on here is the property tax. But I think everything else is on there. So other than that, that was really all I have. I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to add.
No, I talked a lot in the pre-meeting, but just 2 things. One, Diane, Diane, good job. She's been working very hard on the public input for what will be, I don't know, a 5-year master plan, strategic plan, whatever, and which has always been required by the DNR so we can get land and water conservation fund monies and grants. Of course, they're not handing it out for next year. They're taking it all for themselves because of budget issues, but it's still important in getting public comment and doing some focus groups and everything. And Diane's been very, very productive in getting that all done.
Great job.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
you said you don't normally get that crowd input and you're being kind of quiet.
Well, this is nice.
Okay.
I had a long day.
Yeah.
We always meetings move a lot fast.
Yeah, I got that. Well, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only other thing I would say is, our product is outdoors, it's not indoors. And when you see a string of 90-degree temperatures like we've had, and I'm thankful for it. We needed it. But it does put a lot on staff that's out there every day. They're not sitting in cool offices. They're out there working, and it's tough. So the fact that I think everybody's done a very commendable job over the last few weeks, staying out there and getting their jobs done. So that's a good thing. And I'd like to recognize all of our staff that's out there doing the day-to-day. Big deal.
Very good. Duly noted.
Other than that, I don't have anything else. You guys have questions?
Questions? No? General discussion? Any general discussion? Is there,
Did you kind of claim list?
No. Got to pass that.
Is that a journal? Here, run it down that way. I gotta sign it. Nobody, nothing to worry about.
you wanna wait till it's done?
No, you can adjourn.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes. Motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
It was a thought of it.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all for the first video.